Well, we're on location today at the Douglas County Boys and Girls Club. I guess I'm a guest of Steve Hord's today here in his facility. And when I was coming through the door outside, I looked at the plaque that's on the side of the building, and some of the names I recognized, a lot of them I recognized.
A lot of them I bet you recognized.
A few I didn't. Some are not here any longer. They've moved on to other communities, and so I think that tells the story about how long you've been here.
There's a foundation there. The Douglas County Boys and Girls Club and I both celebrated birthdays a couple of years ago. It's our 27th year now together, and when we had our kickoff event for our 25th anniversary celebration, it was to kick off just what we're talking about today as our Teen Center project. But welcome to our house, Mr. Mayor.
Well, it's a pleasure to be with you, as a matter of fact. For those viewers, and there may be some that don't know much about the Boys and Girls Club, I wonder if you could kind of take us through a little bit of the history and some of the things that you do.
And it's against my nature, but I'll try to keep this to the point and concise. A condensed history of the Douglas County Club. It started as a boys' club, and the girls had their own facility. They were a girls' club. Interestingly enough, within a year of each other, they both were born out of the First United Methodist Church here in Douglasville off of Presley Mill. Just wonderful folks there. We still have a few of the trustees there that put on a big event for us, our Spaghetti Sports Auction Dinner once a year that's based there at the church. We had several summers that when we first had our real growing pains back at the Timber Ridge location where we were previous to here, we had summer extension sites that were based at the church. Mm-hmm. A lot of support from those folks, and we really appreciate them. Even now, Max Kaler has carried on that tradition, and he's on our teen cabinet. Has been a part of this for the last several years.
Max does a lot of things. He is really
but that's just
nice
the community.
Fellow.
Like the names you mentioned
Sure.
out on the plaque, our founders. There's this interconnection, this weaving of all these wonderful talents and personalities that folks aren't just on the Boys and Girls Club board. They're not just on the United Way board. They're not just a Kiwanian or just they are everything, and that's the neat thing about Douglas County, among many things. But fast forwarding from our little tin house back on Timber Ridge, and from boys, and then we became a Boys and Girls Club back in the early 90s. And then back in November of 98, we had our ribbon cutting for this facility, which was a godsend then to accommodate X number of kids a day and X number of teens a day. But we grew from there pretty quickly as well, from where one bathroom with one commode to two bathrooms, each for boys and girls, each with multiple facilities, to where we had 79 teenagers total just 5 short years ago out of our membership of 600. We have over 212 teenagers now out of our membership, almost 40% of our membership. And we've been pounding on that ceiling now for a little while now.
Sure.
Need more.
Well, tell us a little bit about what you do for the boys and girls. I know when I come here in the afternoon, there are a lot of folks.
A lot of activity, and depending upon the day of the week, we're in a room right now that this was our teen room. Mm-hmm. It's designed to accommodate 20 to 22 young people comfortably. We pack 55 to 65 in here for a college-bound night, and that's one of our tenets. It's Boys and Girls Club is about youth development. It's parents and takes on different connotations. Well, for poor kids, for kids that want to play basketball and sports, it's those things, but it's a whole lot more. And we try to educate, but first we have to get you in here. It's a place for all kids to come and be able to have opportunities that they may not have going back to an open door at home when mom or dad's not home yet. The great majority of our kids are single-parent families. And quite frankly, we probably don't exist, and we don't need a Boys and Girls Club without that particular dynamic. Sure. But the fact is, that's becoming more the norm, so it's a very important role of support that we think we play that way. But now that we've identified that you're a boy or girl age 6 to 18 that wants to be here, and that's really the only requisite of being here is you're the right age, do you want to be here? After that, well, a couple of pages of a membership application, no big thing. And we never turn away a kid for lack of funds. There's ways to earn it at different points along the way to be in the club. But the club is about educational opportunities. It's about artistic expression and opportunities. It's about education with technology and taking advantage of our wireless technology lab and our Hewlett-Packard folks that supply us so well that way. Not to be a commercial, but it's our most recent grant.
Sure,
and we were excited about it. It's about getting kids to crack open books, get a ball in their hands, a paintbrush, a computer, keyboard. Those are all just tools. And there's no real opportunity that if I just want to play basketball, you can't just do that here at the Boys and Girls Club. You're going to be rotated on a schedule, and you're going to be trying different things, whether you want to or not. We try to soft sell it, but for the most part, kids want variety. They want different. They want structure. You just can't call it that. And we frame that with our Boys and Girls Club program and our mission, which is to serve all kids of those ages that we talked about, but those kids and their families that absolutely need us most that don't have the greatest number of opportunities.
Do you find that most of the children are here in the afternoon after school? Because I've been here, and I know I'm pointing next door behind us. I think it's where the room is with your computers, and I've noticed that those children are in there sitting in front of that computer, and they appear to be doing their homework and things like that.
And that's the idea. We're blessed to have had back-to-back wonderful people running our technology lab, and our newest addition is no exception. But he's still learning his ropes. But the very first weekend, the very first hours that he was in here, he had our Torch Club age leaders, which are ages 10 to 13, and then the Keystone members are ages 14, 18, the leadership clubs for those respective age groups. Those kids were filling up the dry erase boards with all the sites that you cannot be linking to, which is pretty neat. He was accessing a given resource, and the kids are the first ones to tell you what they know they can't be doing. And they're also the first ones to tell the kid next to them that you can't be doing that. It's kind of neat. They can play the video interactive games on their computers, on their PSPs, their Nintendos, what have you. They can do that elsewhere. And we've got opportunities to do that on Fridays and special event days and holiday breaks. But Monday through Thursday, there's no real opportunity for that. We've only got you for the younger age groups anyway, the 12 and unders. We've got you for maybe 2 hours of impact. From the time you get in from school around 3 o'clock until 5:30, when your parents are picking you up. We've got a limited, and there's an assembly thrown that we meet as a collective group every day. Once we've got you all here, want to get announcements out for the week, what to get excited for, what to look forward to, what to let your parents know about, and also listen to our kids and to recognize our kids for the good they've been doing. But, and I just derailed myself momentarily.
Well, you mentioned when we first started talking, 2 key words, Teen Center. But before I ask you a question about the Teen Center,
I'm excited about here.
Let me ask, how do you get your funding? What you do costs money. And where does that money come from?
I'm glad to talk about funding. Money's not fun to talk about, and it's not my bailiwick as far as resource development. But we've got a volunteer board, first of all, and it works in tandem with our United Way campaign here locally. The Boys and Girls Club is a chief beneficiary of United Way here in Douglas County, along with a bevy of other agencies that Kathy Eisman and her crew do a great job. And it's not enough, and it never was enough, starting about 7, 8 years ago, to say that, well, it's the Boys and Girls Club. They do a great job with kids. That sounds good. Let's cut them there. No, we go through an interview process twice a year to make sure that we're all up to the benchmarks that we're supposed to be living up to, and meeting those expectations, that we are developing kids, that we've got these outcomes that are very measurable for developing those kids, and that we're talking about education, we're talking about the arts, we're talking about scholarship opportunities and leadership and character building. We attach X's and O's to those names. But the United Way, our volunteer board, which, again, the names you mentioned outside, and a lot of the folks that are on our teen cabinet, and then, of course, the city, that we're not here without the city. We've got this wonderful lease that we own our building. We don't own the property. That's because of the city of Douglasville and their generosity that allows us to be here. And the county, as well provides a grant for us every year that extend our services out to more kids than we'd be able to otherwise.
Sure. Well, you mentioned the partnership of the city and the
very important
Boys and Girls Club. And for those who don't know, your facility is located in Hunter Park, and it's located on property that's owned by the city of Douglasville. And several years ago, we worked out an agreement and signed a lease agreement, a land lease agreement, where exactly what you said. You occupy the land, you operate it as a Boys and Girls Club Center, and it's worked good for both of us. It's a good
glad
partnership.
to hear you say that, because I know that Tracy Ivy, our Director of Parks and Recreation for the city, we've got a strong relationship as well, and we like to think that we've been good tenants and good caretakers of the generosity that's been extended us, and it's a great opportunity. Tennis courts out to the side, ball fields down the hill,
Sure.
And we're going through a very different time this year, of course, with all the new renovations in the park. And we're excited about that and where it's going to take us for the years to come, from all the other youth and the families of Douglasville to be taking part in.
Well, your board has done an excellent job on raising money, but it's never enough to provide
especially
the things
in
that you need.
this economic climate for all of us, absolutely.
And the city of Douglasville applied for a grant that we were, I guess, lucky enough to get. I'm not sure. It was a substantial grant for what we just talked about, the Teen Center. Can you tell us a little bit about the process that we went through?
And I'll tie it back in with our history that when we moved into here in 1998, we had actually taken a run 3 different occasions and applied for the Community Development Block Grant, the CDBG funding. We couldn't wait anymore. Our board decided we weren't going to wait anymore.
Sure.
And we're going to build it. However we have to do it, by hook or by crook, we're going to put a building up on that hill and take advantage of where we can be out in the city park. Right. And we're here. And there's been a couple of modifications along the way. We of course had the Abercrombie Pavilion dedicated shortly after opening, and but it's just been a godsend for where we're at now, the here and now, with the block grant that was received and approved to help us build. It's a matching grant at its full value. It's $500,000 to match our $500,000 raised. We'll have a $1 million facility when we're all said and done.
Well, let's talk about that facility. It is
happy to talk about it.
Our viewers probably, except those who have worked on it, are probably not aware of what's going to happen. But kind of take us through the process of when is it going to happen,
we've
and
got
what's it going to do?
Our groundbreaking takes place. We have a groundbreaking ceremony coming up this Thursday at 4:30.
And all of our viewers are invited, correct?
I want you here, December
Okay.
10th, 4:30. Be here, everybody. Please be here, everybody. Whether you've got a child here or not, whether you're ever going to have a child, you just don't know how you're going to be impacted down the road. But the one thing we do know is that young people that come through the Boys and Girls Club doors, whether we've got you for a day, a week, or for 12 years of your life or longer, as you come back to us as alumni and you're in college and raising your own families, it makes a difference in our community that you're out there raising those families with the positive aspects that you helped cultivate at the Boys and Girls Club. But the Teen Center, we're going to grow from a room designed for 20 or so kids to where we're the only club in our Metro Atlanta organization. Out of 30 clubs, we're the only one that closes our doors at 6 o'clock, with rare exception for members 12 and younger. Our teens, the only time they get is that arbitrary time of 6 to 8 p.m.
Right.
The club becomes a teen center for those 2 hours a day. We won't have to do that anymore. We can expand our hourly offerings, our program offerings, for the extra couple of hours a day for all of our age groups. The teens will have their own space. They'll have a workout space. They'll have their own recording studio, their own technology lab. They'll have their own identity, most of all, that they're still close enough. And we thought about this long and hard, looking at various location possibilities. And it was really deemed that the best place to be is as close we can be to the main club, where our older members can still give back and make a difference for the younger members, but still be able to step away, just like a big brother, big sister. Every once in a while you had too much. let me go over here and be with teenagers now.
Sure. So it's a $1 million facility.
Yes.
The city applied for the grant,
Yes.
received the grant. It has a 50% match, and you have raised almost all of that money.
Yes,
that
we have.
match, as I understand.
It's still ongoing. We don't want to be slowing up. It's the whole. We certainly plan on, once there's the groundbreaking and physical attention being given to the site itself. We're looking to build some traction from that. The money can't stop because it's not just the building. You've got to be able to keep the building operating. You've got to staff that building and furnish that building, and all that goes into it as well. So our sites are set above that $1 million benchmark at this point.
So our next visit to you is going to be a groundbreaking, I assume. And when do you expect that's going to happen?
The ceremony groundbreaking is, like mentioned, December 10th, this Thursday at 4:30. When we actually start seeing that foundation poured, that's a tough part to say right now. We're still not in the process of bidding out yet. That will happen after a few other details that have to do with fire codes and some other things with water runoff.
Sure.
We're this close, though, Mr. Mayor. This close. We can. If I could be out there with a jackhammer instead of a shovel, starting it, we would be. It'd be a best guess that between January and March that we're actually out there and seeing the ground broken up and seeing some things happening.
That's a good time to start in the spring. It's always a great time to start. Now, this is a good time to be building something. All of our projects are coming back in less than we anticipated because of the environment that we're in, the economic climate that we're all operating in. So it's a good time. It's a good time to be building buildings. There are a lot of subcontractors that are out there willing to do things a little bit less.
The right group, of course, that's key. It's a very selective process, and the bidders will have to be pre-approved in the case of the Boys and Girls Club Teen Center, and that's a good thing.
Sure.
We want you to have those qualifications. Number one, have you done any other teen centers for Boys and Girls Clubs or youth agencies before? We'll start with that. But like you say, it's a great time to be bidding the project out and getting your biggest bang for the buck. And we're excited about it. It's going to be 6,000 square feet of facility that we don't have right now, that we'll be able to go from not so comfortably serving 55 or 60 teenagers a day to where we'll have 85 to 100 teenagers a day quite comfortably and able to grow a little bit from there. And flipping back to where we're at now, that's going to allow more room back in the main club for those younger members.
Well, Steve, you and your board and everyone that works here is doing a tremendous job, especially for our youth. And if there are viewers that, after watching this today, feel like they might want to get involved, what's the process? What would you recommend for someone?
Well, there's a couple of things, and make it really simple for how to get involved. BGCMA.org, Boys, Girls Clubs, Metro Atlanta.org. Log on, find out about us. We've got our own link goes there. You can also find us at bgca.net and get some information on the Boys and Girls Clubs is there as well. But bgcma.org, log in, you get a link, how to get involved, and it'll point you right to us. The best way, come see us. Just come see us. We're here most days from noontime until 8 p.m. And we're here serving 150, 160 kids a day.
That's great.
45 to 60 teenagers a day. We're here.
Well, I encourage our viewers to stop by and take a look. If they want to give you a call, Steve, before they come, what number would
770-577-9824. If you want to email me directly, it's my first initial S, as in Steve, Hord, Hord, at bgcma.org. And love to hear from everybody.
Well, and I encourage, if you're listening today and you want to become involved, please give Steve a call. They need your help. They're doing a great job, but there's always room for additional help. Steve, thank you very much. It's been my pleasure.
For all of our kids and families and our board, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for having me.
Well, thank you for everything you're doing. And please stay tuned. We'll be back in just a minute.
welcome you all here. This is the beginning of a dream come true for us at the Boys and Girls Club. One of the things that we did to help with the awareness of the Teen Center, not just with the community, but with the kids themselves in the club, is we had a contest. It was an essay contest. And we took the teens that are going to be using the club and the tweens that are going to be coming into the club. And we divided them in two groups and said, we'd like for you to write an essay about why we need a teen center. And some of our campaign cabinet members were the judges. So would the winner for the tween contest, Jasmine Harper, please come forward. Jasmine is going to read her essay to you.
Good afternoon. I'm Jasmine Harper, and I'm the contest winner for Why We Need a Teen Center, and my essay is titled Why We Need a Teen Center. We need a teen center because I think that different grade levels should be separated. We shouldn't be mixed together. We are on different skill levels and are going through different things. Our focuses are different too. The rooms that we have now aren't really appropriate for the teens that are attending the Boys and Girls Club now. There are always little kids running around, so we can't really do any of the things that we want or need to do. If we had something to study for, a test or a midterm, we wouldn't be able to because of the distractions of the smaller kids. So I think that the other teens would really benefit from having our own space away from the smaller kids. That's why we need a teen center. Thank you.
This is Jasmine Harper. She's very, very bright, and we have a very special gift for you.
Jasmine, just a way to acknowledge you and say thank you for your poem, and thank you for standing in front of all of us. We all know how hard that can be, right?
Yeah.
But we just want to say thank you and present you with this gift certificate. So thank you very much.
We have the next essay winner. This one is the teen winner. So would Chelsea Woody please come forward? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Woody, and I'm a senior at Douglas County High School, and I'm the winner for the Teen Essay Contest. My essay is titled, Why Do We Need a Teen Center? My favorite quote is, our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, rather our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously allow others around us to do the same. This quote illustrates the obstacles of reaching our full potential and the rewards of doing so. One reward in particular is inspiring others. To me, this quote describes exactly what a teenager is. A teenager is a developing, success-seeking, and inspirational young adult. When a boy or girl reaches the age at which they can be role models for kids younger than themselves, they have become a teenager. Every day at Douglas County Boys and Girls Club, the teenagers file off the bus and into the club. After being immediately greeted by Mr. Steve with a familiar ear-to-ear grin and a warm hello, we make our way to Miss Parker's office to see what she may need in the club that day, and of course, to drop our things off. Shortly after, some of the teens go check on our mentees. Other teens go to brag with the younger members of the flag football teams that they coach and about the win the day before. Until it's time for assembly, the only thing for the teens to do is loiter. This is a daily routine that after a while can get frustrating. When I walk in these doors, sometimes I feel like I can't take ownership of my club because literally there's no place for me to call my own. As I look around and see my peers being heavily involved in the various activities at the club, I am confident we are all powerful, smart, and inspirational beings beyond measure. I see this when Randy, Shai, and Jasmine take time to teach younger kids the dance routine for the KKCC performance. I see this when Kadeem, Tevin, Miles, and Cameron spend a Saturday at Kappa Alpha Psi chapter meeting to learn how to become exceptional men. I also see this when we lend a helping hand to give away baskets with food for the Thanksgiving holiday. There's no doubt our club has the best teenagers that we could all hope for, but what our club lacks is enough space to allow these teens light to shine. We need this teen center to have separation from the younger kids so that we can work a little more on developing our own character. A place to do our homework and a place to relax, all in one, will benefit us in the best possible way. The Boys and Girls Club, for many of us, is a home away from home. It has everything we need to stay on track to be successful men and women. Movie nights on Friday will let us stay late and yet be safe. College Bound gives access to necessary information regarding college with a great mentor, Mrs. Kim, to keep us focused. Finally, we have Ms. Parker and Mr. Steve, two incredible, selfless, and inspirational people to make us laugh when we're sad, put us in our place when we're out of line, and aid us in becoming successful men and women that can come back one day to laugh and smile about all the memories at Douglas County Boys and Girls Club. Thank you.
Was that inspirational or what? This girl is wonderful.
She tried to run away. You can't get away that fast. I think it's safe to say to a powerful and bright young lady whose light is already shining, thank you for your kind words. I think what you talked about today is exactly why we're here for this type of groundbreaking. And I know you're a senior. You're about to go for your next chapter. But you got to promise me you're going to come back and spend some time in this teen center. Okay?
Okay, I promise.
All right. And this is for you.
Thank you.
Very much. Appreciate it.
It is just heartwarming to see that kind of stuff, I tell you. Makes me feel good. That concludes this part of the program. I want you to know that I could go on and on and on about the Boys and Girls Club because it is so near and dear to my heart, but I'm going to spare you that today, okay? Because we need to go turn some dirt. So, I would like to bring up the Torch Club President, Rakia Cottingham. Is Rakia here? Okay. I hope you have a coat because we're going outside. The Keystone Club President, Lily Dishmi Garrido. I hope I said her name right. Did I say that right? And the Youth of the Year, Devon Strickland. Where's Devon? Is it Debbie? Oh, Devon. Devon. I'm sorry. Is it Devon or Devon? Devon? Look at this girl power, will you? Will you just look at this? Hey, I'm proud of this. They are going to have shovels. They have ribbons attached to them, and you girls get to keep those shovels as a memento of what we're doing today. So I also need Mayor Thompson, Sheriff Miller, William Lampley, Steve Hord, and me. We're going to go turn some dirt. So if you're prepared, put a coat on. We're going out those doors.